Hey guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood stream. Tonight we are continuing our drive into Bright Lights, and I'm looking at playing Maxx tonight. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was really excited about playing my new Dash deck the other night. Like I thought, man, like maybe this is going to be the aggro deck that's going to be it. This Maxx deck feels insane. Like it's such a high ceiling. Like you can deal over 40 points in one turn with the right hand. I feel like even like your like some of your like mid higher turns are like 35 points. And so like this Maxx deck feels really cool. I've really enjoyed testing it. I'm still playing around with some of the cards, and I'm going to talk about that tonight as we play through some of our games. But Maxx feels really good. Maxx feels very strong, very aggressive, and just the deck feels really solid. So I'm honestly very excited to set it up, like just to play this and show it to you guys tonight. All right, let's go ahead and jump into a game here. I'm hoping, I know that like it won't be until release that we're actually like able to use like Classic Constructed, so we're just stuck using the open format. So running Banksy as our weapon, I think that Banksy is a very good weapon for multiple reasons. Being able to, if your opponent's looking to play aggressive into you, they're not going to want to block Banksy because the on-hit effect's not that relevant. So Banksy's pretty cool. Also helps clear like, you know, like Azelia and some like other like tough like pesky dragons. Playing against the new Dash. This will be fun. We're running Hyper X, Tekla Foundry Heart, Galvanic Bender, and Achilles Accelerator. Our opponent wants to go up first, I assume, to set up some items. This is our 60 card main deck here that I've just been running with. Our big heavy hitting combo that I'm looking to assemble is the Mechanoid paired with High Octane to like be able to run our opponent over. I don't think we want the Firewall in this matchup. I think that the Firewall is more reserved for like Lexi, Azelia, other decks that are like really looking to like try and run us over. Expedite's a really good card in this deck. Expedite like really like is just it's a very good card. So I think I'm just gonna block with 2 jump starts here. Okay. I don't even know what this does. Okay, I actually have a foil one of these that I opened randomly, so boosting away our Nitro Mechanoid to start off, not good. I haven't boosted them all the way yet. I have been able to play one every single game that I played, so I was like, we're going to throw the Expedite and see if we can actually get in with the Expedite. So we're going to crank our Hyperdriver here and play our other Hyperdriver, and then we're just going to pass, and we'll arsenal our Maximum Velocity here. Maximum Velocity does look to be very good. Ooh, wow. Okay, so this is pretty good. This is pretty solid. One of the cool things that this Dash deck can do with them being able to play an item off the top of their deck is that if they have a Boom Grenade on top and we don't block out what they're doing, they can actually just play Boom Grenade as an instant and deal some extra damage to us, and that's kind of cool, I think, in my opinion. So let's block 3 here. I guess we're going to look to block with our equipment here this turn. We're going to look to use our equipment pretty aggressively here, considering that we already have another Hyperdriver to put into play. Oh, nice. So we're using Plasma Machine to be able to actually put that in. I like that. We'll show them Crankshaft here, and then we'll just block with all 4 pieces of our equipment here. We'll give all of our equipment to stop the Boom Grenade hit, and we're just playing around anything they might do. Boom Grenade does not trigger off of the Symbiosis shot. And they have 2 action points because they actually went ahead and cranked the Boom Grenade when it came into play, which gives our opponent the ability to have extra action points, and then they're going to give their Techlocore a third point here, and then they're coming in with a Symbiosis shot for 2. Pretty good start from our opponent here. Our opponent's making pretty good use of the plasma machine to be able to like keep their turn rolling. So I'm gonna run out my hyperdriver. We're not gonna crank, and then we're just gonna pass. And then I'm just gonna try to block with my. I'm gonna block with an Expedite here and my Techlo Foundry Heart, and we're just gonna try to go crazy. Like if I'm being honest, like that's the game plan right now. I'm just going to hope that their turn's not too good. So, yo, Kyle, what's up, dude? 604 subs, dude. I know. I was pretty excited, honestly, today. I crossed over 600 today when I was like hanging out, that like working from home. If an item you control has been destroyed this turn, this gets +2. Okay, so this is a 3 for 3 with go again. I mean, I guess this is really a 3 for 6. So I'm going to take 6 here, go to 31. And we're going to put the Mechanoid in play on turn 3, which means now we're just looking to find high octane. Now, like, high octane is just what we're looking for from here. So looking to be pretty good. Like, this is a pretty solid turn so far. Hopefully our opponent's last card isn't too scary. I'm kind of terrified that they have 4 resources. They're going to play Boom Grenade off the top. Use Plasma Machine to give it an extra counter. Hey, 600. You have almost as many subs as I did goals in Rocket League today. Bannon, if you would have had 600 goals today in Rocket League, I would have told you to quit your day job and start playing Rocket League professionally. And I think Kyle would have too. And I think most people would argue he's definitely the best of, of all of us. They're not even going to attack with the Symbiosis shot. Kind of surprised a little bit. I won't lie. So, I mean, yeah. Let's play it. We'll pick our 3 hyperdrivers here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and come in for 6. Let's start putting... Oh, it gives us the option to banish what we want, which I kind of like. Let's just go ahead and get rid of a hyperdriver. I kind of like that. We did not have that option. That must have been an update that Talishar did today. That was not an option the other night when I was playing. So not really a way to make this work, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, they have 3 boom grenades in play, which is like pretty obnoxious, I won't lie. Like, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of blocking that we're going to have to do. So let's block with T-Bone here. Our opponent's boosted quite a lot here, too. So we'll block 3. I block 3. I block with the blue combustible courier because I'd rather keep the red one in my deck, given the option. Because I can pitch the red combustible courier to play hyperdrive here and set myself up a little bit. We'll take 2. No reason to block the Symbiosis shot here. This weapon is very good in the new dash. They can just opt as many times as they want here. I was like, I don't know if they'll use it on this turn or not, but so we can play hyperdriver. We can actually crank it and then come in for 6, which is actually pretty good. We'll get rid of another hyperdriver here. So, I mean, looking to try and put the pressure on our opponent here. Like, we've had 2 turns where we blocked 9. Or, I'm sorry, we just had a turn where we blocked 9 and attack for 6 while putting resources into play. It's a 15-point turn cycle, and we put cards into play. Or, I'm sorry, we blocked for 6 from hand. Getting the last of their Techlocore resources. Already down to 28 cards. We could honestly just consider, like, grinding them out here and just blocking them out and throwing the Mechanoid at them the rest of the game. So this hand actually doesn't throw maximum velocity, which is a little disappointing if I'm being honest. I'll show him the T-Bone. We'll give him the Mechanoid here. It's a clean block for 4. Mechanoid putting in work. Cannot believe we transformed the Mechanoid on turn 3. How dumb is that? Like, that's so good. They're activating Teklo Foundry Heart a lot, too. Like, they are churning through their deck here. Let's go with the Expedite. Let's just block effectively here. Let's just, like, let's play clean. I really need... They're using Dash's ability to put another Boom Grenade into play. Gaining an action point here, so they're going to have 2 action points. They're going to look to use a Symbiosis shot and just throw the Symbiosis shot at me as much as they can. So if it's just Symbiosis shot from here, we actually have a pretty cool line if they're going to Arsenal their last card. So they are? Okay, cool. So this is going to be pretty sweet, actually. Yo, Nick, what's up, brother? How are you, man? Okay, so we actually get to boost Zipper Hit pitching our T-Bone here, gain a resource. So we'll have 3 resources floating, which means we can play the Hyperdrive from our hand, crank it down to 2, activate Maxx, crank that Hyperdriver, come in for 6. So we're getting to come in with an 11-point turn, and we're setting up 2 Hyperdrivers in play. Like, it's a pretty solid turn here that we get to have, all things considered. Like, and our opponent is, like, just kind of, like, forced to, like, take what we're doing here, if they want to continue to have a chance. Yeah, let's crank that. I feel like somebody's gonna make a really cool parody video around the fact that crank that is a thing in the game now. Oh man, this is a good looking turn. Okay, so we're up 12 points currently. The Boom Grenade represents 2 points plus a potential another 4 off the top. So here's where we have to decide how we want to go about this, because we can go Combustible Courier, Data Link into Pulse Wave Harpoon, take their hand, and then we'll have 2 resources floating from the Hyperdrivers to throw maximum velocity. That's a minimum of 21 points, potentially 24 points if they let it block, if they don't block here. So they're 13 with 21 points. That's 3 cards and both pieces of equipment that they can block with here. The question is, how much damage can they do to me? We're looking at 6 automatically. I'm going to say there's another 6 in hand. So that's 12, which means they have 13 to go. And if they use Accelerator, they could shoot me a couple of times. Or if they crank something off the top, it's 4 more. Plus 2 is 6 and 8. So 12 and 8 is 20, so I'd be at 5. And I'd take everything from them but 1 card. And I guess I can actually always block with the Mechanoid this turn. We're going to pass. We're going to pass to start with and just see what happens. We're going to pass to start our turn here and just kind of like let them show us what happens. Doing great, brother. Ready for pre-release? The set looks great. Oh, dude, this set looks so much fun. Like I'm enjoying this set so much so far. I'm so hyped. Like the crazy part is like I'm really excited for pre-release, and like I'm not going to be there this weekend. We have plans. We made plans a few months ago. So we're going to Charlotte to hang out with some of our friends and celebrate one of their birthdays. But so I won't be there this weekend, dude. Are you planning pre-release this weekend, man? Okay, so this is 8. Yep. I'm going to block this for 3 because if they do have some random, like if they have something, I don't want them to be able to put it in play. And then they'll Symbiosis shot us 2 times, so we'll go to 7. So Yeah, their turn was for 1 more point than I thought it was going to be. I mean, not bad. Not a bad turn from our opponent there. All right, so let's come in with the Combustible Courier. This is a card that they'll probably just give us their equipment with. Yeah, I was like, this is a pretty easy block. Like this card's a 2 for 7 if you let it hit, so there's no reason to not actually do that. We're gonna come in. So they're gonna have 2 cards left in their hand after this is all said and done with. Oh, that's a really good card. I want to, man. I have to boost here. I have to boost, so I have to put this on the bottom in hopes that I can make value of it later in the game. They have to show us minimum 3 cards from their hand. Minimum 3 cards from their hand. So they have to kind of choose carefully here. Now, they show us a Teklo Core. I'm dropping my shuffling cards. Was a scar for a scar. I've got 50 of those things. I guess let's take the Zipper Hit. It's the most damage. They're both blues, and this is the most damage output they can do. So we're gonna come in for 10, and they only have to give us 1 card here if they want to take 7 and go to 2. And then we have 2 points of equipment block, and I don't know, like 5 card 21 point turn is like not that amazing. So they're just gonna play High Octane and then hope they draw something. Yeah, they should have opted first. So Crankshaft, 0 to 60, activate Maxx, crank the new one, and then come in with the Mechanoid, block T-Bone. They can't play any items off the top of their deck because they have 0... They can't play items because they have 0 resources floating, and even their 0 costers cost 1 more. Yeah, playing tomorrow night. I can pick up your packs and promo if you want tomorrow. I actually wouldn't care to like do that. Like just pay for like the packs or whatever. That would be kind of cool actually. High Octane allows them to Symbiosis shot me twice. And then I'm really hoping we're just going to get them right here actually. So let's go 5 go again, which requires... it doesn't technically require any cards from their hand if they don't want to. Oh, are they actually going to galvanize here? They are. They destroyed the monocle. Interesting. Why didn't... Yeah, I was like, why aren't you just doing that? Like, why aren't you opting 5 times or opting X amount of times before you're actually galvanizing? So with this on the stack... Okay. Oh, they clicked the wrong one. Okay. So they take 1. And then, yep. Oh, sorry, undo. I gotta activate Maxx, crank, and then come in. So we're gonna get rid of Banksy this time. So I was like, they have to give us a card here. Hopefully they don't have a 0 coster they can boost with. Maybe they, I guess they could, I don't know. We're going to immediately block with the maximum velocity. Hopefully that's all we have to block with here. I think they're dead as long as we don't die, though. Like, I'm pretty sure we just won the game. 1, because they have 5 cards in their deck, and 2, because this has overpower and it's coming in for 6. So I think we've just won this game. I'm going to be honest, I started thinking so much about where I was at as far as, like... Okay. Yeah, I guess they just realized the game was over. We threatened 62 damage, and we had a 13.13 AVPT, which is pretty solid. 13.13 AVPT is not bad. Like, not a bad way to start the night. I can get behind that. All right, 1-0 to start the night. Maxx looking pretty good against the new Dash. Close game. They made it a close game, but we were able to squeak it out there. Yo, underscore, what's up, man? How are you, buddy? Feels like they should have popped Achilles the last turn to force a card from you. Yes, they 100% should have. And honestly, them popping Achilles there to like actually force another card for me because they can attack with the symbiosis shot again changes the game 100%. So we want to go first against Dromi. Dromi is a tricky matchup, but it's definitely one that we can win. We're gonna bring in all 9 poppers. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in 9 poppers, and we're gonna find a few cards to cut here that we're not a big fan of. So let's just kind of like look through the deck here and see what we want to find. Crankshaft, not too great, in my opinion. Like it doesn't pop anything. Like it puts on some pressure, but it's not great. This is a matchup where the blue and the red combustible couriers will kind of shine for us. We want to set up the Nitro Mechanoid to be able to end the game. Let's cut Crankshaft, and I like T-Bone is like very mid in my opinion. Expedite is okay because we can kill a dragon and we can actually put something into play. We can kill a dragon and opt one here. So let's just run the 62 card special, and we'll try to play a little bit of early game board control. But then honestly, we're really just going to be trying to set up a kit. Like we're going to try to eventually set up the having a stroke. We're going to try to set up the mechanologist combo kill. So we'll boost here, come in for 3, and then we're going to pitch 2 of our poppers. We're going to pitch Max Velocity and Big Bertha. There's 11 poppers in our deck. So trying to load up on a lot of poppers, on like just trying to load up on poppers because this is going to be a slower game and I need to be able to grind a little bit. I need to be able to grind and like keep their board clean and like, you know, do like be in that mindset to really like have an opportunity to close the game out late. Because we have to have a high enough life total to where we can actually like try to combo kill them. Wow, what a hand. I mean, if one of the blue expedites was a hyperdriver, this would actually be kind of sweet. I mean, we can block 6 and still like have a pretty good turn here. Okay, so I mean, if they're just gonna come in with 7, we're just gonna give 2 cards and take 1 here. I was like, they're just gonna set up some Ash here and try to pitch stack a little bit. I haven't seen somebody playing Crown Dromi in a while. Kind of surprised to see it. So what we can do is play Expedite, activate Maxx, crank one of the hyperdrivers, and then play Banksy. And then from there, and then activate Banksy. So we have a 6-point turn while setting up towards our combo a little bit. And then from there, we're kind of just looking for a 3rd hyperdriver and our mech suit to be able to get our combo into play. So having a little bit of an early setup here. Also, boosting Expedite, just like throwing Expedite, just makes our opponent think about what we're actually, if we're going to put anything into play. Because this is just like kind of a 0 for 3 that might actually have a relevant effect for us. Activate Maxi Boy here. Crown is now considered very standard with the new tome. Oh, so okay. So I saw somebody playing. I played against somebody playing the new tome the other day. First time I had actually ran into it. I'm going to be honest, I haven't read that card a ton. I don't exactly know what it does, if I'm just being honest. I'll have to read it and kind of see what it does. I think it says like draw a card and some other text that I haven't read. I'd have to like look it up and actually see what it does. So I changed the list kind of recently to play 3 of that Firewall in the sideboard. The Firewall card, I hope, like, helps against, like, Lexi and some other things like that. That's really where I'm, like, looking. I'm hoping that it'll help. I mean, I guess we could pitch one of our blues. We're not doing anything else with it. And then Yeah, so we pitch this. Block with Jumpstart. It allows to mostly converge Redline, Empress, and Big Dragon lists. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that, actually. That's actually, like, kind of neat. We're just going to take 5 here. So we actually get to have kind of a cool turn. This is, like, a pretty neat turn that I was talking about, like, keeping the board clear. So we're going to play Hyperdriver. And when it comes into play, we're actually going to crank it. And then we're just going to kill Azelia with Banksy here. Now, killing Azelia does not let Banksy actually put a counter on one of our Hyperdrivers. But if we draw our mech suit next turn, we can just play it, which is pretty sweet. There's 3 copies in the list, so we're hoping to find it as soon as humanly possible. There's also, like, a lot of poppers in our list. We haven't seen the mech suit or poppers, which is a little surprising, I won't lie. All right, so this is kind of a cool turn. Draws 2 if you're royal, then pitch 2 cards and get the resources as normal, or banish your hand, I believe. Huh, okay. I mean, it doesn't seem like terrible or anything. Draws 1 otherwise. Okay, I was like, I mean, it seems pretty good. I mean, and if people are playing it, like, I assume that if people are playing it, there's a reason people are playing it. Like, that's just kind of like my thought process behind cards. Like, now I know that when the new set comes out, a lot of people are like, oh, let's test this, let's test that. And I'm the same way. You know, I'm the same way. So considering we have 9 poppers left in our deck, we haven't seen, like, this is a pretty aggressive turn, but it does get rid of all of our Hyperdrivers, so we're not playing to our combo anymore, which is a little unfortunate. We could try to set up an arsenal here. I guess we can still create. We're going to have 3 extra resources here, so we can still create and then Banksy. So I don't know. Not a bad turn cycle. So I'm actually going to throw the red combustible courier at Miragai here. Killing Miragai with the red combustible courier is like one of its primary jobs in this matchup. It just like it kills dragons and allows us to apply pressure. So I'm actually gonna throw this at our opponent and see how they react. Yeah, it's draw 1 or draw 2 in Royal, and you get to pitch and ash from those 2 reds. That's like the most busted card in the set, it seems. You talking about the new tome? That's the new most busted card in the set. Is that what you're talking about, or did I say a card that I missed that you were talking about? So let's go data link for 3. All right, we boosted over 2 of our poppers. I don't really know why we had 2 poppers in our first hand and 2 poppers like back to back like that. Like, that's pretty. Like, that's a really good card, but I'm gonna bottom it because I want it in my deck. I don't want to boost it away here. We're going to go after our opponent again. Okay, so 3 poppers and 4 cards. Obviously, the RNG is not on our side tonight, so we're going to have to play extra carefully to make sure that we have a shot in this game down the stretch. Yeah, well, I'm a Dromi player, so maybe biased. That's fair, man. That's fair. But now the Redline list can run big dragons as well due to Tome. I mean, dude, the Redline getting to play dragons is like just going to make Dromi like that much better, in my opinion. Like, and we'll attack our opponent here. So Redline Dromi is looking good. I would be baffled if there was a popper in our next hand. I feel like as far as like randomized shuffling goes, there shouldn't be, but I've seen crazier things happen. Makes playing something like Tumultai much more likely, not relying on drawing blues as much. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Tumultai is like one of the most powerful dragons there are. Like, if our opponent ever Tumultais us and kills one of our things here, like, we can't stop it. There's just, like, almost nothing we can do about that. So, Jumpstart cost 1. So, we pitch to go down to 2, then back up to 3. Play 0 to 60. I'm just going to take 4 and go to 30 here. Since we're not really on our like combo game plan right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop the Enderai. So that's 4 poppers, and we pitched 2. So there's only 5 poppers left in our deck. Yeah, so we need to play the Jumpstart first because we want the cost reduction here. So we're coming in for 5, go again. I could set up 0 to 60 and try to go for like a maximum velocity turn here if I wanted to. We haven't seen one yet, and there's 3 in the deck, so the longer we go without seeing one, the better our chances get. Now, we're not guaranteed one anytime soon. Yeah, let's do that. Let's crank and come in for 3 here. Like, this is a card that our opponent's pretty inclined to block if they know what we're up to. So, okay. And then we're just gonna arsenal our 0 to 60 here. Now, unfortunately, this is not a maximum velocity turn. Sag. Can we actually set up all of our hyperdrivers this turn? Am I going crazy? Okay, so... No, we can't set up all of them this turn, but we can... We can put 2 into play. Right? So if I boost 0 to 60 here, we're coming in for 4 with go again. And then from there, we're looking at play red hyperdriver. So it's 0 to 60 with go again, play red hyperdriver, crank it. We'll have 1 more resource than we need, which means we can Banksy. So this will come on to 2, activate Maxx. That comes in on 1. So we have 1 on 2 and 1 on 1, and then we can Banksy at them. It doesn't seem like a very bad turn, in my opinion. Seems pretty sweet. Stream Elements bot is running. Thanks a lot, Stream Elements. Oh, man. All right, our opponent gives like an efficient block here. So we'll go ahead and set this up. Yes, we'll crank. And then activate Maxx, have 1 floating. We'll crank that. And then we could play board control here. Nah. Let's go after him. Let's get a card out of their hand. Let's get a card out of their hand, or they're going to give us a counter on 2 different hyperdrivers, which is pretty good for us. There's our mechanoid that we're looking for. So we don't really have the resources we want this turn. So 0 to 60 at our opponent for 4. Or, yeah, or I guess... No, so we want to arsenal the Nitro Mechanoid here, and we want to find a way to set up... So let's think about this. If we boost the 0 to 60 at our opponent, they go down to... We'll go down to 1 red hyperdrive counter, 2 resources. Then from there, we'll activate Maxx with our 2 resources. Or I guess we're just gonna pitch Max V and Throttle, which I'm not a huge fan of because that leaves us 2 poppers left in our deck, which means we'd have to find a way to shuffle. And I don't think there's a way to shuffle in our list that I'm aware of. So Combustible Curry at our opponent, pitching Throttle and maximum velocity, 0 to 60 at them. We have 2 resources left. Activate Maxx. Then we have no resources to Banksy. So we have to 0 to 60 at our opponent. So if we 0 to 60 at our opponent here, we pitch pitch Throttle to activate Teklo Foundry Heart. Activate Maxx. Or I guess we don't actually have to activate Heart. We can just activate Maxx, crank the new hyperdriver, and then pitch one of our poppers to come in, or to come in with Banksy at the Passing Mirage. That's such a weird line. That's such a weird line. Feels like there's got to be something better we could be doing this turn, but I'm going to be honest, I can't find it. I don't know what it is. If somebody else sees a better line, please throw it out. I'm trying to like walk through these lines, and I'm not seeing one that like really talks to me. Okay, so our opponent takes 3 with 2 floating. Yeah, so now I could throw Combustible Courier, but like, I don't know. It's not great even to do that, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna crank. And then we're gonna Banksy the Passing Mirage, pitching Throttle. I don't know. Man. I mean, 2 poppers is pretty good against a Chrome Eye turn, but still not looking great. Pop that. I mean, Rake the Embers is obnoxious. Like, so there's 2 more Nitro Mechanoids in our list that we haven't seen yet, and we put a High Octane to the bottom already. So I could pitch Combustible Courier to like just attack them with no boost, and then Arsenal my High Octane, and then I'm still like a turn away from ever finding when I'm like, because I'm at a point where like I have 2 hyperdrivers in play, and I can't really continue to like keep boosting. We'll Arsenal the High Octane, and I guess if worst really comes to worst, we'll just like try to play like a big High Octane turn. No, we're not going to boost. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen a hyperdriver. Like, we've only physically put 2 into play from our hand, and we haven't boosted any. We pitched 2 blue ones, which means there's 5 we haven't seen, and there's probably only about 20 cards left in our deck. Like, there's only 20 cards left in our deck that we haven't already pitched or seen. So I'm a little surprised. If this was an action pay 2, it would be so insane. I mean, yeah, like let's pop this. It's definitely not like our best trade we've ever made here, but like we're keeping them off the board, and we can only do that for so many turns before we're like really forced into a bad spot. I mean, I'm just gonna throw this at that without boosting. Like we need to find a. Like we really need to find a hyperdriver. Like we're seeing so few of our combo pieces. Honestly, it's been a pretty weird game, I would say, all the way around. I'm just going to take 1 here. I've shown my opponent that if I have a popper, I'll block with it, which is honestly a pretty good thing to do early on against a Dromi player, because you can bait them into attacking with a bigger dragon that they don't want to lose later in the game. If you actually have a popper and you have a few life to play. Now, I don't have a popper here, But it is worth noting that you can play that way. So I'm gonna block 4. Hopefully their last card's not like a Command and Conquer or something. Man, talk about and it shall appear. Well, we're gonna block 6, keep our life total up, and I'm gonna throw our blue 0 to 60 at the Caloria. We've at least cleared our hand out, so we're giving ourselves an opportunity to draw the cards that we need. Okay, so we drew everything that we needed right here. All right, draw a card if you're a royal. Instead, draw 2 cards. You may pitch 2 red cards. If you don't, banish your hand. Okay, so our opponent now gets to pitch 2 cards to go up to 5 ash, and then they still have Furnace to play whatever they want. Okay, I see what you guys are talking about, why this card is so good. Hopefully I open some of them just because I like the art on it. Not really interested in playing it. I'm not really a Dromi player. I played Prism for a while when she was big, but that was because I was fresh off of Magic and I liked that Prism could play on both sides of the turn cycle. And there's not really many things that can do that in this game. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna block 3 here. There are some poppers left in our deck. Like, I think there's 1 Big Bertha left in our deck. That's the only popper we haven't seen so far. This is the last Big Bertha. I think it's funny that there's actually a card named Big Bertha. And it's like this gigantic robot. Oh, no. We block with the Mechanoid or pitch? Did I pitch the Mechanoid? All right. Well, this turn's gonna hurt. I'm gonna save my Hyper X block for next turn, in case I actually need it for anything. We're basically 3 turns away from like trying to have our big turn. And I mean, I have to admit, like with them having a Necria in play and 3 Ashwings, if we don't draw Popper sometime in the next few turns, like this can be a pretty... This can get out of hand before we can actually get to our combo turn, and that is something that's worth actually mentioning. So we're going to play Hyperdriver. We're not going to crank, and then we're just going to pass. This hand's not great because I basically have to block with High Octane here if I'm going to do anything. Like, I have to block with High Octane, and I have to pitch Hyperdriver and 0 to 60 to play to make the Mechanologist piece that I want here. So, is this a legendary card, or can you play as many of this as you want? This is not legendary. Okay, cool. That's a really neat card that Dromi picked up, honestly. Oh, you just pitch 2 cards, so you just get the resources there? Interesting. Hey. You breaking my heart, game. I mean, again, if their last card's a Command and Conquer, I was not going to block it anyway. I'm just going to have to lose my last High Octane, and that's just how it's going to have to be, unfortunately. It's not great, but it's just kind of like... I've committed to playing my game where I'm trying to set up my big combo here. Now, I'm having to take quite a bit of damage to do it, but there's still a popper we haven't seen yet, so if we can actually get that popper... Oh, my God. So bad. That's so bad for me. I mean, like, it is what it is. There's 1 I pitched, so we're like, there's 1 somewhere left in the deck. That if I was paying attention to my pitch stack better, I would know where it's at, but I just wasn't. So... We've now transformed this. Let's get rid of a Hyperdriver and let's attack our opponent for 6 here. I'm actually interested in like trying to put the pressure on and like really relying on the fact that there are 3 poppers left in our deck, or 4 poppers left in our deck. Now 3 of them are pitched, so we're really just looking to find the last one. But I mean, anything's possible here. We're looking to find the last one that we haven't seen, and it's not in this hand, which is Big Sag. So what does this hand do? I hate to give up a point of block here, but I think I have to. I'm at 6, so... Hey, what's up, Ben? And then I have to take the 3 Ashwings here. And I'm going to go Combustible Courier on an Ashwing on my turn into Expedite if I'm given the opportunity to. If I'm not, then this game might be a little bit too far lost. Yeah, so we're gonna block 6 here. Just stay ahead of the life total curve here. This reminds me of fighting the VeggieTales back in the old country. Oh, does it? Does this remind you of fighting the VeggieTales in the old country? Oh boy. So we don't really have anything that we want to like expedite in. Like we could go expedite one of the Ashwings and then Mechanoid Necria. I could also just Mechanoid. I could like, so let's just make sure that I'm not going crazy here. 1, 2, 3. Let our opponent know what's going on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I crazy? Did I pitch the big... Oh, I pitched the Big Bertha early. Okay, so the only 3 poppers left in our deck are the ones that we pitched. So I'm like pretty sure there's not one coming up in our next hand, which means we really just need to play as... So we're going to hit Necria here, and we're going to banish a Hyperdriver from under this. I guess we'll get rid of the token Hyperdriver. Doesn't really matter. And then we'll Arsenal our Expedite. Yep. Oh boy. I don't even really know how this works. So this blocks for 2. We get to block for 5. And then we have to block one of these. Hey, what's up, TCG Talk? How are you, buddy? So I think we're going to 1 here. Like, this game's probably lost. I think... So our poppers lined up. We had 2 hands that had 2 poppers in it, which is kind of awkward. And then we also lined up in a way where, like, our combo didn't come until, like, turn 7, which happens sometimes. We've seen both ends of the spectrum so far this game. So if I go T-Bone and Ashwing, Expedite and Ashwing, activate Maxx, crank, and hit the Tumultai, we're giving ourselves an out to draw a popper here at least. Okay, our opponent drew Arcane, so they're good gaming. Or did I actually just hit one of their things? Oh well, they said good game. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so our poppers were in this hand, so... Don't really understand why they're not just playing... Alright, okay. I clicked on the wrong thing and then didn't undo because my opponent just said good game. So I assumed they had it rolled up. All right, well, now we definitely have no chance just based off me playing that way. So now I'm just going to good game them and concede. Yeah, I just assumed my opponent had Arcane there and they just knew we were dead. So I just didn't undo to make the correct play there. Anyway, not too bad, my friend. Trying to crack these heroes like everyone. This set has been so much fun. Oh, dude, this set is a blast. This set is awesome, dude. I'm honestly like in love with this new set, man. Like, I played like Boost Dash, trying to like play maximum velocity as many times as I can on Tuesday night, and then tonight I'm really trying to play this Maxx deck. And the Maxx deck is really cool. Like, I think this set offers a lot of like really cool, innovative things that people are really gonna have fun trying. And I'm gonna be honest, my first thought when I saw this set was like, oh, like Lexi's just gonna be the ProQuest deck. And she still might, honestly, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually like really like, I'm really thinking that there might be like a mech that like actually can like set up and like try to play. I mean, we'll go first against this. We want to go first against everything we're playing to try and set up our combo quicker. So I think the firewalls will be good in this matchup. This is the one card I'm still on the fence about. I like that it's a block 4. Like, you can block 4. Like, you can block Command and Conquer with this card and like Foundry Heart. I don't like its text though. Its text is definitely meant to be played in another. It's definitely meant to be played in Teklo-Vossen, but we're just kind of making it work. And then I'll probably just run the 63 card special here. I don't think there's a problem with having too many cards against Azuri, so probably just play the 63 card special here and like try to set up a little bit. Traditional Boost Dash is just nuts now too. Yeah, dude, that's what I was playing on Tuesday, man. Like she feels insane. Like, she feels absolutely bonkers. I 100% agree with you. So if we come in with Zipper Hit and Boost, pitching our T-Bone, then we can activate Maxx to set up a having a stroke Hyperdriver, and then we can Arsenal our Expedite to play around Command and Conquer. Keep the High Octane in our hand. That's not bad. I think that's fine. We did have 2 more. We're starting with 2 more cards than our opponent. We're presenting 2 extra cards, but I don't really know how relevant that's going to be. I could crank and come in for 3 here, but I don't think that's a wise decision. Drew another High Octane. That's pretty early on. I mean, being honest, my hand's looking pretty good. I might just try to like go High Octane, and just try to have like an insane turn here. Like, Banksy is a once per turn action, so like you don't get the value of Banksy here, but so like you don't get the value of having a lot of extra action points, but we don't have to crank if we draw into a couple of blues. We could also Arsenal one of our High Octanes. Yeah, let's just live on the edge. Our opponent had no disruption here, so they had 0 disruption. So let's take the life loss here, and let's just maybe we draw into an item that we can try to put into play. Immediately draw into an item we can put into play. All right, so let's think about this before I just start throwing things. So we're gonna have 3 resources, which is exactly how many we need to Maxx and Hyperdriver here all in the same turn. So we can actually just set up for combo here this turn and then Arsenal our High Octane. So Data Link into Expedited. If Expedite hits, we get to just throw the Hyperdriver at him. We get to put the Hyperdriver into play without having to crank it, which is pretty good. Yeah, so let's start here. We've already played a High Octane, so we're going to have... and we hit the crankshaft. Looking good. Starting to think Banksy is just bad. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Oh my gosh, Banksy's great. You leave Banksy alone. I mean, we're probably should just be playing the pistol, honestly. Like, I agree with you, but I've been playing Banksy because it's new and I think it's cool. We'll put this on the bottom. I don't really want to boost this away. And thanks for following on Kick, Nathaniel. I appreciate it, dude. More like Cranksy, lol. I feel like you're reaching a little bit there, but I like it anyway. I appreciate the effort. No! Come back! We need you! One of my worst fears is that we're playing this combo deck and I'm just gonna, like, not be able to, like, set it up. No, let's not crank. We already have 3 action points, so there's absolutely no reason to do that. We're gonna set this up and we're not gonna crank. Oh, I guess I need to if I want to attack. So if I had the pistol, I already have 4 more damage here I could pistol with. So Nathaniel already being right, and he's only been in the chat like 60 seconds. So I guess I'm just gonna Arsenal High Octane here. Try to use the Firewall here. It's a pretty good turn. Throwing a shakedown at us, huh? Not gonna lie, this feels like a pummel. Haven't seen pummel played in a while, but this feels like a pummel. Ay. I mean, let's give 6. They have pummel, they have pummel. Put the blue hyperdriver on the bottom. Yeah, there it is. They'll probably name red if I had to guess. I would name red in this situation, considering I still have 3 cards in my hand and I'm playing an aggro deck. And I guess we'll discard our combustible courier. So we have a couple of options here. I can boost this if I want to, go up to 3. And then I would have 1 hyperdriver with 2 counters on it. No, I think I'm just gonna throw this and pass. Like I don't think there's any reason to put myself out of a combo hand if I already have it set up. Like we have the combo set up. Really? I mean, I'm gonna assume my opponent knows what's going on there, but that was weird. Oh yeah, that was weird. All right, so we have High Octane in Arsenal. We have the combo in our hand. I'm gonna take 1 here because if they do come in with a 6, we get bailed out by our equipment, thankfully. Right? Wait, what is this? So yeah, I'm just gonna use equipment here because I can't take it with me. I'm not gonna block in case they have another pummel here. Like another pummel would just like make me cry. And honestly, they might just be on like some like kind of crazy Azuri plan where they're just like only playing 1 pummel to get in my head. And if they are, it worked. It 100% worked right there. Wait, what? Did I miss something? Oh, and a defending card. Oh, I definitely should have read that. Ho ho! I'm actually just gonna ask my opponent. Yeah, so that just like completely ruins my entire game plan. Why is my equipment not there? Oh god, don't tell me it's just like not there permanently now. Okay, so it's still there, it just has the weird thing. Yeah, Justin, good call out there, dude. I did not realize that that text was on there. That's one of those things that I'm glad that I'm recognizing here. Instead of at a at a ProQuest or like somewhere where that matters. That would have been a disaster. Oh boy. So I mean, again, we're at a point where I can't take it with me. I don't think there's another card that they're going to play as an instant to just like get me or anything there. So and let's destroy our hyperdrivers, and then let's come in for a bunch. Oh my gosh, it has an extra one. The Hyper X actually grabbed the hyperdriver, and it's going to give me an extra attack. Oh my god, that's the first time I've noticed that. Ah! That's so good. That's so good. Oh my gosh. I know if all of you guys are sitting wherever you're at and you already knew this or you already recognize this, you're probably laughing at me because I just now recognized that. But oh my gosh, that's so good. This hand is like kind of mid. Like, I mean, I could take a chance that I draw blue, but there's only 18 in my deck. I don't really like that. I don't like playing to that. So even if I draw blue, pitch max velocity. So if I block max velocity and equipment here, that blocks 8. So I'm covering Razor here. So it covers Razor, but then my turn is play high octane. Hope I draw I guess it doesn't matter what I draw because I'm going to have, this is going to be 8 and this is going to be 18. So it's going to be a 26 point turn, I guess. Or I could just block a billion like this, throw 5, no go again. Yeah, just throw 5, no go again, and then just pass here. I think that's the better. Or I guess I can boost and just come in for 6 again. I might as well. Like, at this point, I'm really just looking to, like, try and have my crazy setup turn. Our opponent was nice enough to let us take back the play that would have cost me the game. So I don't want to waste it. I want to try and make the most of this. Like, my opponent was very cool about it, and I'm very thankful that they were. And let's just block 7. Uh-oh. Oh god, is that just going to kill my Mechanoid? Yeah, it is, isn't it? And they're going to get my High Octane. You guys even, like, Nathaniel even said, watch out for the shred, so maybe I'm not supposed to block there. This is a matchup that I'm definitely going to have to, like, play into a couple times to, like, really learn the intricacies of before I stop making these kinds of mistakes. So now my opponent's gotten rid of my Mechanoid, and I'm now, like, up a creek. And yes, the hyperdrivers go under. I don't really know how we're supposed to win the game from here. Like, why is it still highlighted? I don't really know how I'm supposed to win from here. I honestly don't know that I can. I guess I'm not going to boost here and throw 5, and then I'm going to arsenal my Expedite, and we'll just try to have a big, like, regular turn. Never block with your mech while they have a big hand, just asking to get broken. Yep, absolutely. I just learned that lesson the hard way. Riku? I'm going to go with Raikou. Raikou sounds more correct than Riku. But, yeah, no, that was an absolute obliterating. I just, like, got completely blown out by what they were up to. So now this is like, I don't know, like now we're just hoping to find like some maximum velocities, but I think we blocked with 2. Did we pitch one earlier? I can't remember. Maybe I haven't seen one. I'm going to be honest, I can't really remember. I don't think we're blocking this ever. Shred, what a blowout. Dude, that was insane. Like, and I know that interaction works that way. I guess I just wasn't expecting it. And this hand is terrible. Since they also have cut to the chase with the new card as well, so Shred and Already Dead is a blowout. Yeah, absolutely. So like those two cards are just really good. Oh, so they can swap in Already Dead and get my equipment too. I see what you're saying now. So basically, I'm never blocking with the mech in this matchup. That is good to know. That's good notes for moving forward. Throw 0 to 60, boosting, and then throw Expedite, Arsenal, Zipper Hit. Like, yeah, I pretty sure this game's over. Nah, I don't really see... I mean, yeah, I guess I should boost. Yeah. I guess I should boost because... I mean, if this hits, I get to put the Hyperdriver into play. No, let's not crank. So it's worth mentioning that if I still had my Nitro Mechanoid here, I would actually crank that so that I could have 2 action points and throw it twice. But now I'm just going to activate Maxx with my blue instead of arsenaling it. We'll just put some cards back into our deck, and we'll try to look for a better turn. That Codex of Frailty. So, I mean, they probably have something that's going to, like, eat me alive right here. But I guess we have to get maximum velocity. And I'll discard Hyperdriver here. So, Command and Conquer. And the Pummel. Man. Dude, this guy's eating my lunch. This has been so bad. This has been like one of the worst games I've played in a long time. And I have to, like, man, Azelia got some cool cards from the new set. Like, the Already Dead, like, really good being a blowout earlier that, like, I wasn't even aware of was a thing, really. Yeah, I don't think there's any way for me to win from here. Like, I just don't think it's in the cards. Okay, so they're going to throw the Spider's Bite at me. And then block 4, and we can throw our whole hand here. Take 2, go to 1. Try to make something happen here. Expedite goes to the bottom. I mean, yeah. Yeah, our opponent's won the game here. I was like, the game's definitely over. Our opponent just, like, played well and took me to school right there. Oh, man. Hey, Allie, what's up? Yeah, Zuri runs away with the game, I believe. Yeah, like, that, they definitely ran away with that game. So I think, if I'm being honest, I think that I can win that game. Like, so that game that we just played, I think I can win that game. Like, I think that's a winnable game. I think I need to play better. And now that I understand some of the new cards that they've gotten and some of the things that are blowouts against me, I think that those are 2 lessons right there that I'll never forget. Like, Better Off Dead, or whatever it was called, and, or Already Dead, and, having a stroke, and the shred. Like, the shred interaction I already knew about, but, like, it was very good. Like, and it was like, yeah. So I think we can win that game. Like, that, like, I know that was, like, only 1 game, but I think that's a winnable game for us. You can't afford to block with equipment at any point if you want to get the mech out. Shred breaks equipment even if it's battle worn. So that's like, why does Shred break equipment even if it's battle worn? That doesn't make any sense. Shred only breaks equipment if it's temper. Shred only breaks the mechanologist thing because it's temper. So I don't really understand what you mean there. So why Yeah, I don't understand that. What happened to my command, LMAO? Also, I love the use of that. It should still be there if I'm not mistaken. Only breaks temper? Okay, so I thought so. My fault for not remembering. Oh, dude, no worries, man. Like, dude, you just watched that game, man. There, no apologies necessary in this channel, in my channel for not for messing something up, brother. It's all good. So the command came through, but it's not actually working. Hang on, I'll have to look at stream elements after this game. I'm not sure, Allie, why it's not working. So this is a pretty weird hand, because if this was a boost card, we could boost, activate Maxx, and put the hyperdriver into play. I can just pitch maximum velocity to play my hyperdriver and pass. No biggle, lol. That's funny. How was work today? How's your week been so far, Allie? I meant to. I think I know people asked you that the other night, but I meant to and I forgot. I mean, we could pitch the Nitro Mechanoid here. Man. So if I pitch the Nitro Mechanoid here, our turn is play. We go boost. So we go boost 0 to 60. Play hyperdriver crank and then activate Maxx. I don't hate that, honestly. I don't hate that. We get no arsenal, but we're setting up two hyperdrivers, both with 2 counters, which means there's a turn where we can use them to play offense instead of just like blocking. Oh, they're on Hanabi Blaster. Interesting. I think Hanabi Blaster is probably pretty good in this deck, honestly. Yeah, let's crank, and then let's go ahead and do that, and we'll just go ahead and pass to our opponent. Drawing a high octane's pretty good. We'll just go ahead and arsenal that, I imagine. With our opponent being on Hanabi Blaster, I'm interested to see how it plays out, because Hanabi Blaster is definitely like a long-term like weapon to use, because you can only use it like, I mean, you can high octane and like, I mean, you could set up like 6 counters and do it. It just take a while. So it's been good so far. They took us to lunch today. Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's great. Gotta love those free lunches. So if I block with maximum velocity and combustible courier here, I can go T-bone boosting, activate Maxx, arsenal high octane, and then we're just waiting to find our cards. So we've set ourselves up in a pretty good way. Okay. So I guess if we boost the T-bone, actually, I guess we can boost combustible courier to make them think we're going to do something else. So we boost combustible courier, pitching T-bone. We have 3 resources: activate Maxx, crank, and then come in with Banksy. So it's a total of a 5-point turn off of 3 cards. Terrible. That's like terrible value. Oh god, Carly's upset about lightsabers in the other room. She slammed her feet on the ground and got upset. I assume somebody killed her with a lightsaber. Or they're blocking bullets or something. I don't know. Yeah, let's go ahead and crank it and come in with old Banksy boy here. I really wonder if Banksy would be better served as the pistol. Or maybe Blaster's the way to go? I don't know. I feel like there's definitely like a lot of experimentation that has to be done here to like figure that out. Like, and this sucks because this is a great hand and I just really can't play it. Like, I mean, I could play it, but I'm not going to. If you go boost base, I've seen someone use the rifle from Crucible. Seems interesting. Okay, so I actually tried the rifle, the plasma barrel shot. I've tried that in Boost Dash the other day, and it's bonkers in the new Boost Dash. Absolutely bonkers. But seems kind of mid in. I guess it could be good in this deck. I don't know. Haven't really tried it. Like, just gonna be honest, I haven't really tried it, so I guess I'm not really giving it a fair shot before I really say anything. Like, it seems like my opponent is like just trying to use Maxx to set up a bunch of hyperdrivers and have some explosive turns, which is cool, and I'm all about that, but nah, I'm not gonna crank. Draw the Mechanoid. Boo. I mean, we're just going to continue setting up our cards here. I guess we'll pitch the Combustible Courier. Combustible Courier is a better late game card than it is like it's a good early game card too, but it's also better late game. Yeah, get that high octane out of here, boy. It's also worth noting that our opponent has yet to put a single counter on their Hanabi Blaster. Now, they just did this turn, which is pretty good for them. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to go to 29. Like, we're just waiting to draw Mechanoid at this point. Like, we're just going to block as efficiently as we can. And one of the problems that, one of the problems with this strategy is that these hyperdrivers, you can't play them or do anything with them. Like, again, the pistol would allow us to block a 9 every turn and pistol them for 2. So maybe that's... yeah. I'll probably experiment with the pistol some and try to find that. Oh my god, I hate when this happens. I finally draw it and I have 3 reds. Even a yellow lets me play it. Like, literally a yellow lets me play it. So let's block. We're just gonna block as efficiently as we can this turn. And we're just gonna try to go ham. I'm going to try and have an over 30-point turn. No, I want to block. I don't know what's happening. I hate when I click pass, and Talishar lags, and then, I don't get to block. We're going to block with a zipper hit and the Foundry Heart here. I'm more than likely going to end up blocking with the T-Bone as well. But... oh, get him, Maxx. Prank him, John. Dude, I don't know if you guys ever I don't know if you guys watch any Fortnite or I'm having a stroke. I don't know if you guys watch any Fortnite or Warzone streams or anything like that, but there's this guy on TikTok. He's on YouTube too, and his name's HydraCam. Is his name. And he makes some of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life. It's basically what I want my shorts to be, but I'm just not as good as editing as he is. All right, so I mean, yeah, we're just gonna block 5 here, take 1, and then we're just gonna hang on. We have a high octane in Arsenal, so we're doing what we can here. I'm gonna go to 22. Our opponent's churning through their deck pretty quickly. I think this is the second or third time they've activated Heart. Let's get rid of the 2 tokens and the blue one. I mean, I guess, it doesn't really matter, oh. I should definitely attack for 6 here. There's no reason not to. 2 tokens in the blue one. And then let's attack for 6. We'll get rid of one of the tokens. Anybody in the chat in favor of playing Pistol over Banksy next game? I think I would be open to try. I don't know. I'm taking suggestions for weapons we should try next game. That goes for anybody in the chat. If you guys want to see Pistol, that's cool. If you guys think Blaster's the way to go, even if you guys think Barrel Shot's the way to go, I don't naturally agree with that statement. But if you guys think one of those is better, throw it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Like, we can change the list like midstream. It doesn't really bother me. With this kind of list, I could see Pistol. Yeah, I just like Banksy since you already want to use the hero ability. I mean, yeah, Banksy is like really cool. Like, this could be insane. Banksy's very good. Talishar Maxx? JK, dude. I would play. You like, I mean, you can't play Mechanoid, but dude, I love Talishar. I'm not gonna lie, I love me some Talishar. Like, that's one of those cards I get excited about. I like playing Talishar. Banksy bad. I mean, Banksy could be bad. Banksy could just be bad. Just could be how it is. So we need to draw a boost card here. Gonna be honest, I don't think it really matters which boost card we draw here. Oh, what is this? What is this? Gain an action point? Uh-oh! It's Mechanoid versus Mechanoid time. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah. Alright, I guess I clicked the space bar. Oh well. I've undone too many times. I'm not gonna go back. Crank is better with pistol when you have extra resources. I mean, yeah, absolutely. So let's just try it. Let's just try pistol after this. This is the giant robots fight now. Mech versus mech. Oh, dude. Oh, he's coming in again. He's coming in again. I love it. Oh, this is great. This is some serious, this is some serious action right here. This is going to be great. God, please let me draw a boost card so I can play this stupid maximum velocity. Okay. 5, 10, 12, 22. I'll go up to 4 action points and down to 3. 28, 34, 40. Ah, it's going to be a 40-point turn, baby. Oh, you love to see it. Oh, yes. Yes. God, if you're here to see a 40-point turn live, I'm so glad you're here for this. Oh, man. Man, drawing zipper hit basically is just so good. It feels like we literally just drew zipper hit. You're gonna have to give me some cards from your hand, brother. Oh man. We'll get rid of a hyperdriver here. Dude, let's go. This is so exciting. Like, this is awesome. Shoo! We'll get rid of accelerator. I don't think it really matters. The only thing we need to keep is the bender. Galvanic bender's the one we need to keep. Oh no. Oh no, and I have 3 items in my hand? Oh, we're about to lose. Oh boy. I mean, let's block 3 here. Let's block what we can. Dude, this game has been a roller coaster. We just went from a 40-point turn to, like, basically dying. Like, and there's no way to filter cards. I'm just dead. I'm just dead. No. Dude. What a game. I'm in a glass case of emotions. God, I am a glass case of emotions right now. We had a 40-point turn and we lost. I had a 40-point turn and I lost. What a time to be alive, man. Oh, I just said we were gonna try pistol. Hang on. Let me pull up my list over here on my other monitor. Edit. Let's remove Banksy. And let's get some Pistola going. And you know the crazy part is if we're playing Pistola, we can like play some like other pistol items in our sideboard for like for what's the dragons? You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm having a stroke right now. I can't remember names when I'm like on stream for some reason. Dromi. For Dromi. Good lord. We could throw some pistol items in the side. We could cut the 3 firewalls and a Big Bertha, play 10 poppers, and then have two chambers and 2 purifiers. It's not a bad option. Good luck and have fun, opponent. Against Azelia, I think we want the firewalls. I mean, like, we just want to be blocking as much as we can here. We're still looking at our combo, so I don't think we want to cut anything. Like, I think we'll just leave it alone. It's fine. We'll just play the 63 card special here. For anybody who was here Tuesday night, we played against Azelia on Tuesday night, and we got throttled. No pun intended, but pun intended. Dude, I played against Azelia Tuesday night, and it was, I mean, it was bad. Like, I think the game was like 4 turns long, and like maybe 5, and I'm pretty sure, like, at one point I said, my God, man, I have a family. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I guess we're gonna block 3, like 3, 5, 6, 7. We can't even block 8 if we wanted to. So we're just gonna take 5, cry ourselves to sleep at night, because this is exactly like the worst case scenario for us. We're going to set up a hyperdriver and arsenal my harpoon, I guess. Like, I guess that's just what we want to do. I don't really know, like, what else we're doing here. This hand is, like, not good at all. Is that a Command and Conquer? Yay. So, if I block T-Bone, I mean, I want to save my equipment here. Like, just straight up, I want to save my equipment. So, if I give T-Bone an Expedite here, I think I'm going to hang on to the Harpoon again. Like, I don't really have a reason to, like, swing the Harpoon here. Like, there's not going to be, like, the odds of them having 2 cards in their hand that can't hit me with something is not high. So we'll go Expedite. Oh, nice. We get to keep our hybrid driver around. That's a pleasant surprise. Sometimes you just get lucky. Gee, Pop. I mean, if we're going to go for our, like, let's not crank here. I don't think Pistol's worth cranking to go down to 1. See, yeah, okay, cool. And we immediately draw cards that, like, pan out in our favor. So this is good. Yeah, this is good. So we're going to start blocking efficiently here. Boo. it's a good card. Uh-oh. Oh, God. So, like, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like... I guess I'm just gonna go to 23 here. The Deadeye was so good. Like, the Deadeye made that hand. Because, like, if this is just Remorseless, I'm happy to just, like, block with a card from hand, block Heart. Yeah, but now our hand is, like, not good at all. So this is not great. Deadeye takes a card too. Yeah. So Deadeye says that if this has an aim counter on it, when it hits a hero, look at their hand and choose a card, and they discard it. So that was the value for them. So what are we? Every action card I'm playing this turn is bad for me. So I can throw Jumpstart for 5 go again, pitching the Mechanoid. I guess I could throw Harpoon, pitching the Jumpstart, get 2 resources, activate Maxx, have a Hyperdriver on 2, Hyperdriver on 1, and a Mechanoid in my arsenal. I think that's actually just a better play for me. That's just a better play. I didn't see the aim counter. Yeah. So, yeah, the aim counter there, the Crow's Nest, like, really came in clutch there. Was very good. If Azelia is looking to be one of the more popular at XCOM ProQuest season, I'm just going to be playing Bravo. Like, Bravo just, like, dumpsters Azelia. No, let's not crank it. And then let's Arsenal our Mechanoid here. All right. I mean, Jesus, dude. They've dominated 2 11 power arrows in a row with relevant on-hit effects. One took a card from my hand, and then one's going to destroy my arsenal. Like, and I physically have no way to stop all of it. Man, this is tough. I've seen some Azelia run the Dreadbore for Bravo, though, so that makes it a little harder. We had a buddy, we've tested this theory quite a lot. I've had some guys on the team play Azelia while running Dreadbore into me, and you can lose as a Bravo player, but I would honestly say the matchup's like minimum 70-30, even with Dreadbore, because, like, you're just so efficient at what you're doing. So, like, am I just... I really don't know what we're doing here. Like, if we block Combustible Courier, I can pitch Expedite. Or I can pitch Jumpstart here to play High Octane. And then have resources to... Yeah, so let's just block Combustible Courier. Hang on. So if I block for 4, I take 7, go to 15, then I basically go to 13. And then I can pitch Combustible Courier to play High Octane and then try to have a turn. I mean, it's not bad. Like, blocking here or blocking later is relevant. If somebody has different Azelia Bravo experience with Dreadbore, then please let me know, because it means that, like... Or I guess I'm at 11 because of 2 Pox tokens. But please let me know, because it means that, like, my team and I are probably doing something wrong. And at the end of the day, like, we're all pretty competent players, but we're players and we make mistakes, you know? Like, it's what happens. So if I pitch 0 to 60 to come in with Jumpstart, I go up to 4 resources, and then I can Expedite. I guess I can Jumpstart afterwards because Expedite just looks better. And then I can pistol a few times. So we're trying to make something happen here. Like, We're just attempting to like try and get ourselves back into the game. Now it's not looking good. It's honestly kind of funny to me that like I'm 1-3 on stream because like I played like 6 games of this deck today and I was rolling people online with it earlier. Like I was making my way downtown with this deck earlier. Like I was bullying people with it earlier, and so now I'm streaming and I'm not, and now I'm 1-3. Oh. So 3 resources, which means a blue. 1's loaded, so I can pistol 3 times. 1, 2, which means I can max one. I can max and still pistol, and I can crank the hyperdriver so that I can continue to pistol. So I mean, my turn ends up being 5, 8, 10, 12, 14. 4-card, 14-point turn. Problem is I'm down as much as I am, so it's just like not looking good. We are getting decent value out of the high octane here and pistol, as opposed to playing Banksy, where Banksy would not have been able to make this turn happen. We would have just been up a creek. So yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going to 11. We're down 11, and we have 1 point of equipment block left, and we are in no way on the front foot, like at all. Let's see how they opt off the cross wrap here. They have a card on top. Okay, so they want to draw whatever it is because they're going to activate Death Dealer to load in an arrow, I assume. Okay, so this is now going to be for 10. I mean, I could give 0 to 60 crankshaft and firewall here and actually block 10 effectively. Like, that's a pretty efficient turn. The problem is that then I'm still just staring at my opponent. I'm not playing offense. Like, I think that just has to be the play. And if they have the Rain Razors here, I'm just going to cry myself to sleep. Like, I'm sorry, did the card shift around in my hand and I clicked on the Mechanoid? Well, that's a feels bad moment. I don't know if the card shifted around or if I just played too quickly there. I don't know. It's the second time I've clicked on the wrong thing tonight. I don't know if I'm like, maybe I'm playing too quickly tonight. I don't know. I can definitely tell I'm like trying to think through my lines and like find stuff, so let's go ahead and block with a firewall here. Max feed to the bottom. I don't have experience in that match, but I feel like if the Azelia is disciplined with their use of remorseless and increased attention, they can give a defensive-minded Bravo issues. So I mean, like, that's the thing is like, you're not just like this ultra defensive Bravo deck, and like I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. In my humble opinion, that's where people go wrong with Bravo. Is that you're not just like playing this like super defensive deck. Now, this has dominate, of course it does. Like, you're not just playing this like ultra defensive like deck. You're playing this deck that's playing cripplings, and you're playing spinals, and you're playing starstrucks, but you're playing fates and sinks and staunches and unmovables. You're playing these cards to set up. Like, I can predict it now. I mean, like, dude, this is so bad. Block 7, take 1, go to 4, and then go to 2. This game's over. So, Justin, I completely agree with you. If you play against a disciplined player, and you're just playing like this like hard fatigue Bravo, you will lose. Like, it is inevitable. You will lose the game. But you're not just like, the way that I play Bravo is like, I like to play my attacks and I like to try and keep tempo. Like, they can give you trouble. And I'm not saying that it's like, when I say a matchup is 70-30, I think a lot of Flesh and Blood players like get confused about this somewhere along the way. And I don't know, like maybe it's me who misunderstands. Yeah, that's game right here. He's getting ready to dominate something. Like maybe it's like maybe I have a misunderstanding of what like what it means. I mean, I'm just going to take 12. So when I say that a matchup is like 70-30, right? I'm not saying that like it's a landslide, because like it's not 70-30 because like I'm always like because I'm winning by 20 every game. So it's 70-30 because if we play 10 games, I'm winning 7 of them. Now, 7 of those games could be with us ending the game at 1-1. I feel like a lot of people get that confused. Like when you think of matchups being favored, you think of like Oldham Prism. Like that was a landslide. Like Oldham like almost never won the game because it was just so bad, and Prism was just so oppressive to that deck. But when you talk about like the matchups as a whole, when people say it's 50-50, it implies that it's a close game. It's not always a close game, and it implies that it's like you're winning half of the game. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys or not. And like you guys may have a different interpretation of that, and if you do, I'm open to hearing what it is. But a disciplined and patient Azelia will give you problems, but you'll still win way more than you lose if you've practiced into the matchup just based off of how it goes. Just because like the turns when like you get to like make a surge and throw hammer, and then their next turn is like throw something at you for like, you know, whatever it is, and you throw a Starstruck at them for 10. Well, that requires minimum 2 cards from their hand. So like even if they are playing carefully and you didn't have defense reactions set up to like really like try and bombard them with things, you don't have to be dominating Starstrucks. You can just be throwing Starstrucks and throwing Crippling Crushes because it requires so many cards from your opponent's hand to stay in the game. And like, I don't know, like I'm also like a firm believer that like a lot of Flesh and Blood relies on where you skill gap your opponent, because Flesh and Blood is all a numbers game. Like Flesh and Blood is like it's just numbers. All it is pattern recognition and numbers. Like that's why I tell everybody it's why I'm so bad at it, because I like to do whatever looks the coolest, and doing whatever looks the coolest in some card games will win you the game. Like, but like sometimes I just want to do what looks fun, and I lose because of it. We definitely want to go first. So it's honestly like if you're losing a lot of Flesh and Blood games, it is probably because your opponent is skill gapping you. Like, and I know a lot of people like don't really want to hear that, but it's very true. Like it's a very, very, very accurate statement. Yeah, we'll just run our 60 against Tekla and see what happens. So, I mean, Flesh and Blood feel like it's always 50-50 if both players are competent. Very rarely do I feel like I can do nothing. Closest I feel is at Azelia versus Dromi. Okay, yeah. So, no, I like Raikou, I 100% agree with you. That's a very good way to look at it. That is like a very, very good way to look at it, honestly. Because if you, because if you are like actually like when you're playing Flesh and Blood, like most matchups, there's play and counterplay and things you can do. That is like always the case. So yeah, I agree with you. There are some matchups like what you're talking about, like Azelia versus Dromi. I believe that Oldham and Prism was that way, like where it's so bad you just can't really do anything. I probably should have pitched the data link and then pitched the 0-60 to activate Maxx. That was probably a mistake on my part. My opponent's going to play an Evo here. If they have like one of the red base ones. Oh, they didn't. I guess they just wanted to filter. That sounds pretty good. Sounds actually really good. Like T-Bone, 0-60, data link into Zipper Hit off of the resource into Arsenal mech. Or our turn could be like data link, 0-60, pitch T-Bone to activate Maxx to make another Hyperdriver, have 2 on have one hyperdriver on one counter, have one hyperdriver on two counters, arsenal the mech, and then set up. And so then we're only one hyperdriver away. And then every turn we're allowed to play our turn out and only be one hyperdriver away every single turn of the game. And if not, if we actually draw a hyperdriver, then we're able to like put a third one on board and then run into our mech. Must defend with X equipment, where X... Oh, so I have no Evos equipped. So I think I'm just going to take 5 here. T-Bone here is good if they can't play an Evo. Oh, you're right. They do have the Blade Break ones, don't they? Wow, I didn't even notice that, dude. Good catch. So we can actually just get rid of one of these if they can't play an Evo? Wow. Good catch. All right, so let's come in with 0 to 60 for 4 here, and we're going to get our resource. We're just going to put pressure on our opponent here so that they can, like, we're going to hopefully get cards out so they can't just play an Evo. Maybe I'm supposed to lead on T-Bone, but I don't think so. They will likely play Fabricate, but that makes things a lot more awkward for them. I mean, the fact that there's a Mechanologist instant in the game is really cool. Like, even if I don't really ever get to, like, use it for anything, I'm just excited that it's in the game and that it exists. It's just fun to have, like instants... instants are something that are gonna become more and more common throughout Flesh and Blood's like game. Like as we become as it becomes a bigger game, there becomes more of a card pool. So I'm hoping that Flesh and Blood is always a non-rotating game. It's always like an eternal game, if you will. Because like Magic wasn't that way. Yeah, dude, absolutely. I'm honestly excited for like Flesh and Blood to like change over the years. Like I truly am. I think that there's a lot of cool things to come. Oh, I boosted a hyperdriver. Nice. Let's go. Whenever you banish hyperdriver from boosting specifically. Yeah. Give me some of that equipment, boy. Let's go. You got to give me something. I was like, whatever you're more okay getting rid of here. Take some damage. We're going to activate Heart. Maximum velocity and a crankshaft. And then we'll activate Maxx. No, we won't crank. And we'll go ahead and arsenal the Mechanoid. And if we find a hyperdriver here, which we did... all we're going to do is play our hyperdriver. Actually, we're going to do it all. Holy crap, we are. We're going to do it all in one turn here. I just want to make sure I'm not, like, having a stroke. So if we pitch Jumpstart to play hyperdriver, and then pitch forward to play the Mechanoid, or we can crank the hyperdriver when it comes into play. Huh. Yeah. Crank that. That's pretty cool. Ka-chow! And we get 9 because we actually boosted a hyperdriver away off of the off of boosting, and it went into the Hyper X. And that's such a cool interaction, which means we get 9 attacks with this thing instead of 8 like normal. Man, this deck is cool. I don't even care if I'm 1-4. This is so much fun. I'm honestly really excited to see what like dominates week 1 of ProQuest. Like week 1 of ProQuest is like when there's a new set out and like we have a new set like that and then ProQuests are coming up, it's always really exciting because I'm always like, man, like I'm so excited to see what I'm so excited to just see what the new did they just concede? I guess I just realized they couldn't beat the mech. I All right, I don't know. Maybe they saw my stream and saw I was 1-4 and felt like I needed a sympathy win. Oh, man. Double high octane here will be a kill, I think. Oh, dude, if we ever double high octane with the mechanoid setup and like we have multiple cards to hand and boost with, like if we have double high octane, we only need 2 or 3 cards to boost with. So double high octane and 2 cards to boost with, even if they're like blue cards, we get 24 damage off of the mechanoid alone. So we get some pretty cool stuff. Like, I have to say, even if I am 2-4, the deck has been a lot of fun tonight. Like, I think Maxx presents a lot of like cool things. I'm still like experimenting with the sideboard a little bit. I played a game against Dromi the other day with my sideboard configuration, or no, it wasn't with this one. It was where I had, it was where I took the 3 firewalls out and I was playing 3 underloops. The underloop is the 1-for-4 that goes back on the bottom of a deck when it hits. It's really good at killing dragons, and it's really good at actually like keeping cards in our deck, which is like a very good card in a Dromi. So I really like having that card. But I wanted to try out the firewalls into like Lexi and like Dory and like other hyper aggro decks where like a above rate block is good. I'm hoping that Mechanologist starts seeing more play, makes me want to play Brute to sit on Arg Smash when they bring the mech or items out, lol. Dude, Justin, why, dude, why you gonna put that into the air in the chat, man? That's just hateful. That's just hateful, brother. No, I get you though. Like if everybody starts playing mech, Reinhardt will see a resurgence. Reinhardt's not played right now because Reinhardt just can't freaking beat. It just can't beat Lexi. So, I mean, Lexi sadly is probably still going to be the deck to play. Like ProQuest season will still be like Lexi. You know. Ooh, starting with Plasma Machine and Hanabi Blaster. And they pass. Okay. So we're going to pitch an Expedite. Like, I guess we're going to... I think I'm just going to load the pistol a bunch of times, actually. One of the conveniences of playing the pistol over Banksy is that I can just load the pistol a bunch if I want. Like... Yep, we'll boost. Oh, no, that feels bad. Ugh. That's a tough scene. Dude, I don't know what is going on with Stream Elements bot tonight. That is definitely like part of like whatever's going on with the commands and why the commands aren't working tonight. Yeah, I mean, that's a good card to leave on top. Activate old Maxi boy here, and then let's arsenal this. And then we do draw a hyperdriver here. So funny parts, I'm pretty inclined to block this. Like, probably just gonna give up one of my combustible couriers here. Like, just gonna block one to block one. We're looking to arsenal our Nitro Mechanoid this turn. Hiss. I guess we'll block with the accelerator. Alright, that's pretty good. No! There's no way they're gonna boost, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, so we'll just take 5, go to 33. Pretty good turn from our opponent. They came in with 4 cards and put a counter on their blaster. I really want to know why they're running Plasma Machine. They must be on like a lot of items is all I can come up with. So let's come in with Expedite and let's see if they block. Yeah, they know what's up. My opponent knows what's up. We'll play Hyperdriver. Yes, we're gonna crank. We're gonna pitch Combustible Courier to activate Heart, and then we're gonna activate Maxx. We will not crank Maxx, or we will not crank the last one, and then we'll arsenal this. And then our hand will be block T-Bone. I'd like to keep the red 0 to 60 if I can to set it up in my arsenal here. Okay, so this is why they're playing Plasma Machine. So I actually didn't even get to block with my other equipment pieces. Interesting. All right, so we have no hyperdrivers. We only have 8 pieces, so we're going to come in, get rid of a token hyperdriver, and start coming in for 6. Down. Guys, thanks for hanging out tonight. I appreciate y'all being in the chat and hanging out, whether you're on Kick or YouTube or wherever you're at. It means a lot. I'm really enjoying playing the new set and getting to share that with you guys. And plus, you guys, I hope you guys are learning from my mistakes here. Learning from the things that I am doing incorrectly. Oh, man. Teclo Pounder with 4 counters is terrifying. I don't even know what this does. Oh, they remove it. Oh, wow. So what is this going to be for like 50 billion? So this is for 10. And the boom grenade goes away if we block efficiently here. So if we block with Combustible Courier, T-Bone, and the Mechanoid, we get to cover this up. What does this do? Oh, they get +1? Interesting. So I'm going to leave my 0 to 60 in Arsenal because we want to find a hyperdriver here. Or not a hyperdriver. We want to find a high octane here. And the faster we can find if we have a card in Arsenal, our high octane's just automatically better play. It's Art of War for mech. Is it actually just Art of War for mech? Stop popping up stuff for the middle of the screen, Talishar. What is this? Your attack actions get +1. Oh, wow. It is literally just Art of War for mech. It's even yellow and costs 1. Wow. Did you guys notice a lot of stuff that I feel like kind of slips by me a little bit? This is for 8. What? BIOS update, Teclo Pounder, 5, 6, 7, and the Art of War effect. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You may put an item into your from your banish zone. I can't block this out efficiently, can I? So they get to put a Teclo Core into play, or they get to put another Art of War into play. Am I just supposed to, like, block like this, I guess? I mean, I guess. Yeah. I guess that's the play. So I can play a hyperdriver, crank, and then come in for 6. Or I can boost, gain a resource, play this, crank, come in. So have one hyperdriver, and then I get to have a 10-point turn, arsenal the harpoon. I think that's a better turn. I think that's better than just attacking for 6 and having 2 hyperdrivers. Play this. Yeah, let's crank, and then let's come in for 6. And we'll get rid of our last hyperdriver. The only piece that we need to keep is the galvanic bender here. Like, that's the one thing we're focused on keeping. Okay. So, I mean, I'm just going to take 4 here. Hope they can't actually punish me. And they put a Hedron Collider into play. Is this the plus X thing? Am I looking at this right? Is this plus X? Whenever you boost an attack, destroy this. If you do, it gets plus X. So my opponent's actually making some pretty cool work of the cards here that he has access to. Let's draw blue. So go up to 2 resources, spend it, and then come in with that, and then do this 4 times. So it's a pretty good turn here. This is a pretty sweet turn. So let's see. It's 3, 8, 12, and then we'll have 4 action points, so 24. So it's a 34-point turn. Not too bad. It's a 34-point turn with the harpoon. I mean, like, our opponent's just dead here, right? Like, they have to be. Like, I can't imagine a world where our opponent lives through this. I haven't counted yet, but surely we would never lose after a 40-ish value turn ever. Wow. It's too soon. It's too soon for this. You guys can't already be saying things like this. Oh, man. Lord. That's great, dude. That's so funny. Such a like well-timed comment too. Yeah, sure, let's rematch. I mean, I might as well rematch. Hey, whoever sub 605 was, thanks, I appreciate it. I was like, I didn't get the notification, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Man, the Art of War thing's looking pretty good. So if we go Expedite for 3, go again. Actually, I think it's better to go 0 to 60. I know that this is more value, but this is more points, but this has more potential value for us. So 0 to 60, pitch Crankshaft and Jumpstart to activate Maxx. Yeah, I think that's the play here. I was like, yeah, I don't really think they have a reason to block here, so I don't know why they would. No, we won't crank, and then we'll just go ahead and arsenal our Expedite. And then hopefully our Expedite can put one of our put our blue hyperdriver into play here. Now, I highly doubt our opponent's ever actually going to let that happen. Dude, could you imagine if this is the way to go? If Plasma Machine Dash with Penetration Script is just the way to go? I mean, I can't imagine it is, but it would be cool. So, Expedite, Zipper Hit, Harpoon, 1 resource floating. If the Expedite hits, we get to put this into play. So actually, we can get less value out of our Harpoon. So we can get less value out of our harpoon here and more value out of our turn. So when we boost, if we block with a zipper hit, we have hyperdriver, zipper hit, harpoon. That means our turn is going to be play this, go up to 1 resource, play harpoon, go down to 3 resources, activate Maxx, crank, and then play this, and then pass. But if our expedite hits, then this is the better play. Yeah, let's take 4 here. Let's take 4 and see what happens. I think it's correct to block with the zipper hit, because I don't think there's a world where our opponent's just gonna give us an expedite hit. And if they are, I'd be surprised. Like if they do, I would be pretty surprised by that. The Plasma Machine Art of War thing is kind of cool. Like, they get 2 turns of Art of War because of this. Like, it's pretty good. Uh-oh. Is this Max V? God, they can put a Techlocore into play? Hiss. And this is for 8. So... man, I hate to go to 24 here. I think our hand has too much setup potential here. I think if we go to 24, like we're giving them quite the life lead here. Plus, everything they're putting into play has 3 resources. I don't know how this deck ever beats Bravo, but this is pretty cool so far. I don't think people are sitting around going, oh, how do I beat Bravo? Because they shouldn't be. Like, have some fun, you know? Like, put some relish on your hot dog. Live a little, you know? I don't even like relish, but, you know, just throwing that out there. Maybe you're a big relish fan, you know? I don't know you. I don't know your all's life. They give us both pieces of equipment there. Interesting. So they're definitely respecting the oh, we had the resource floating. Our opponent is definitely respecting the ability of Expedite and how much it can give us extra value into our turn. So their turn's going to be pretty good, it looks like. So activate Maxx. Yes, let's crank, and then let's play this. And then no, we won't crank and we'll pass. And now we're basically hoping to hold on. Like, we're trying to hold on here for dear life. Relish is fire. Listen, brother. Different strokes for different folks, man. And if you're a Relish fan, then you have at it. You will never see me fighting you for Relish at a picnic, okay? So let's just be happy about that. Oh, what is this going to be for like 5 billion? Oh, that's it? That's not bad. I was expecting more. Probably a joke in there somewhere, but what's block 7? I do have to say the one problem with them playing the Hanabi Blaster in this style of list like the problem with them playing Hanabi Blaster in this style of list is the fact that like they didn't shoot the blaster against us one time last game. Like, I'll not fight you for Relish anytime, my man. That's what I'm talking about. Nick, you've been testing with any new cards, man? Like, you've been trying anything out, or are you just like playing Lexi and Icelander, trying to make kids cry? Gosh dang it. I'm over here trying to draw the good cards. We're trying to draw the mech. Now stop this nonsense. I guess let's block 6. I guess we'll put a hyperdriver into play. Yeah, so we're going to take 7 here, or I'm sorry, we're going to take 8 here because of the boom grenade. I have to say, if you're playing Boom Grenade in the mirror, it's probably going to actually give you some value because of because of the fact that like your opponent will just have items like this and they won't be able to block. Yeah, let's crank. We'll crank and shoot the pistol here. Like, we're getting extra counters. We might as well use it for anything. These multiple hyperdriver hands sure are something. Oh, dude. Like, the multiple hyperdriver hands have definitely been the downfall tonight. I'm honestly wondering if maybe we don't need to be on 9. Maybe we need to be on 6. But we're also just taking away our ability to, like, high roll on turn 2 or turn 3. Because you can, like, turn 3 do, like, something stupid. Like, so if you go... You can... I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head what it looks like. Yeah, we'll just take 1 here. That's fine. So if you... Actually... God, why am I having a stroke? If you, like, you can put a hyperdriver into play on turn 1, crank it, put another hyperdriver into play, like pitching, and then you can boost a card. And then you can boost a 0-cost card, and then you can pitch a or no, or do you have to... I think you have to draw the mech on turn 0. I can't remember. There's a way to like set it up to where like you can like turn 3 go off for like 30 points with the mech. I'd have to like sit down and plan it out. Obviously, like I'm trying to live a pipe dream if I'm actually doing that, but it would be cool to do. Why is this for 8? The Hadron? I always thought that was Hedron. Hadron Collider. So this is for 8. So I guess let's block 6. We'll take 2. And if our opponent throws something like scary at us here... Yeah, let's take 2. The tough part about this is going to be that there's going to be a hand where we're going to have to actually like try and like keep cards. And like we're already like at 9. Oh, they want to play Teklo Pounder and put a 4th counter on it from the Plasma Machine. Man, maybe Plasma Machine's what I need to be working on. Plasma Machine Dash. Like, is that where we're at? Like with the crank effects, we can play items mid-turn and just keep our turn going. Now because of our crank stuff, and we can still end our turn with like Teklo Cores and Teklo Pounders. Of course, we draw 2 in one hand. And we draw a card we can't block with. Boo. So this is for 8. I'm sorry. This is for 10. Or did they... This put into play? Oh my gosh. They boosted this, so I don't think they get this effect, though. Wow. This is really good. Our opponent's having a really good turn. This is for 10, 5, 8, 10. So if we block 3, we take 7. Go to 2. If our opponent could like flash in a boom grenade, that would be cool. They have 2 action points here. So they're going to search for a 0-coster here. Find a boom grenade and draw a card. And then hopefully they didn't draw an attack. Hopefully they're just forced to pass here. Well, now we got to block 5. Now that means there's only one mech. There's only one mech suit left in our deck, which means now we're at 2 and we're playing to a combo that's like only a 1 of left in our deck. It's not looking good for the home team here. Had we like, and were we playing a more efficient dash, we could just block, but all these hyperdrivers, all of these hyperdrivers will just kill us at some point. So this is for 9. So we're gonna block with everything we got here, and then probably die. Yeah, and then I can't block anything, so we're just dead. Yeah, good game, opponent. That was a good game for them. Like, and I don't think that we put enough pressure on. Let's see if they want a best of 3. Let's see if they want to play one more. I'm actually curious to know if they want to play one more against me. I'm down to play this one more time because this is a cool deck that my opponent's playing. I'm not a big fan of the Hanabi Blaster personally, but I do think it's cool. These mech hands make me feel better on all my 2-block ninja hands. Yeah, this is by far the most inefficient blocking mechanologist deck I've ever played, ever. Like, bar none. It's not even close. So... Zipper hit for 5, go again here. Our opponent gives us crown pretty early. Interesting. And then I guess we'll just activate Maxx here. We won't crank, and then we'll arsenal our maximum velocity. I mean... I guess I probably should have arsenaled the data link in case I wasn't able to play it. Because this doesn't look like too promising of a hand. Like... I don't even know, like, I guess we can just try to have, like, a big turn where we can try to put 2 hyperdrivers into play and set up for, like, a big combo turn here. Yeah, I think we can, like, have a decent turn here, but it's unfortunately not going to pair well with the maximum velocity. And if it is, I don't know how. You stop that right now. Stop attacking me. Stop playing good cards, opponent. Oh my god. God, I have a family. I mean, I only blocked 2, so this was only like a 16-point turn. Wasn't really that impressive, I guess, all things considered. Okay. Someone get the stretcher? Dude, that's about how it's felt tonight. The games have been kind of rough. Like the games have been tough. Like I think I've drawn kind of poorly, and I think I've like went for some of the funner plays tonight, and it's definitely showing. Okay, so we need 1 resource here. We need 0 here. We need 2 here, and we need 1 here. So we have 2, 3. And I need 3. Or I guess I'm actually going to have to activate Heart to do everything I want to do here. Yeah, I am actually. I guess I could just pitch the data link if I wanted to. Like, instead of cranking, but it's 3 more damage I get to put on my opponent, which I think is better because it gives me the option to opt 1, and I can see what I want my next card like to be. That's a good card. We'll put that on the bottom. I'd rather save that for a late style game. And then I'm going to play Hyperdriver. I'm going to choose not to crank. I'm going to activate Heart, get rid of 2 blues, activate ya boy, and then we're going to pass. And then we're going to draw 2 hyperdrivers and cry ourselves to sleep. Like, dude, we've been drawing hyperdrivers like crazy. Like, which is pretty weird. Like, I really, like, it's not something that, like, this is, like, so of the, like, probably, like, 5 to 10 games I had played with this list before this, I hadn't really run into this as an issue. So I'm a little surprised to see it happening, but... I mean, it's also, like, the more you play the deck, like, the more you play decks, the more you're going to, like, find the issues with them because you can get a very high explosive, like, you can get a small sample size that's, like, has a very, like, high turn. I literally can't even block 6 here, which is crazy. mind-boggling. So I guess I'm just going to take 6. I'm just going to put the hyperdrive into play here. I mean, yeah, we'll go to 17. And then, I mean, yeah, my card blocks 3 or attacks for 4, so I think maybe going down to 6 drivers is the play, at least in the main board. Yeah, it definitely could be. Like, maybe we're supposed to cut the yellow ones. I don't know, like, I mean, I guess I could cut the blue ones and I could just play like a blue 3 block. Because I'm only on 18 blues, so I don't really feel comfortable cutting a blue. So if I was going to cut a blue hyperdriver, it'd have to be for a different blue, which is like totally fine. Like, and honestly, like a pretty normal stance to be on, I feel like. Like, that's probably just the correct play. So cut blues, they're bad. Be quiet, Icelander boy. You don't get to sit in the chat and just tell me what's bad because you don't want to have to play against it. Although I appreciate your enthusiasm. Nah, let's keep it on 2. Man, like, where are our combo pieces? We're supposed to draw them early and win. Duh. Didn't Talishar get the message tonight? Uh-oh. I'm in danger. So is this just for 6? I mean, if it is for 6, that's fine. So we'll block 6. Oh yeah, I guess it was a Maxx V turn. Like, a pretty crappy one, but a Maxx V turn, I suppose, nonetheless. Like, I can't keep this in my hand. Rip the Maxx V dream. I mean, yeah. Yeah, this is not gone according to plan tonight. I mean, I don't, like, I can't just keep this in my hand because it's a no block, but I also just can't take 4. Like, I'm holding on to a combo and trying to, like, wait for it to show up, but, like, boo, he's just going to get to put, like, a boom grenade into play. Yeah, because I literally just have to take 5 here. So had I taken the 4, I would have went to 8, and then I could have blocked that. The boom grenade comes into play with 2 counters on it. Or he'll get to put a second counter on it. At least, or I guess he probably doesn't need to put a second counter on it. We'll shoot the pistol here. And then we'll just pass. Yeah, so we've had like 1 to 2 hyperdrivers in every hand, which is just like making our turns just like so unplayable. Like, it's just making our turns, like, our hands really bad. Like, in this 4, we're just forced to take. Like, we're actually just dead here. Like, our opponent's going to put us to 3, and then because we have 2 hyperdrive... Oh, the boom grenade actually just kills us. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. Could have overpitched the pistol to get out of the hand. Yeah, definitely. I should have done that. And, like, had that been a closer game that I felt like I probably had a realistic chance at winning, we could have done that. I was like, yeah, that was definitely the correct play. Like, you're absolutely right. Jacob. 100% correct, sir. What happened in... I got a message in one of the Discords. What did I forget to attack? Uh-oh. 3 hours left in the war. All right, well, that was a little bit ago, so thankfully that hasn't, like... come back to bite me yet. Carly and I play Clash of Clans with some of our friends. And so, like, I get these, like, random notifications through Discord. You haven't attacked yet. Please attack. Yep, we want to go first here. It's fun playing against the new heroes. I feel like it's, like, I don't know. Like, I just enjoy playing against the new heroes. Like, I kind of get to see what they're, like, what people are up to with them. Let's see, looking at our deck, what blue would we cut? So we're on blue Expedite, blue T-Bone, and I didn't get to see the rest of it. Yeah. So let's pitch a high octane to load the pistol. Let's come in for 2. Our opponent's just going to snap off a block. That math be mathing. We'll activate Maxx. And then, no, we won't crank, and we'll just pass. They'll probably play an Evo if they have the capability. They may just activate Teklo if they want to just, like, filter a blue card out of their hand. I'm not sure. I mean, this is, like, a really good hand that allows us to pistol a bunch of times, so might just keep this hand and then try to set up the Nitro Mechanoid in Arsenal. Because I think, honestly, if we're going to win with this deck, what is it? Boo. Is this thing just a... Okay. Okay, so let's think about this here for a second. If I block with T-Bone, I can't get any of their equipment because they're on the, like, base equipment. So if I block T-Bone... Wait, they don't have any Evos equipped. It doesn't have the text, right? Blue Hyperdriver seems super meh. Yeah, they feel super meh, dude. So he has 0 Evos equipped, so this is just 6. So I'm just going to take 6. Like, am I wrong? No, yeah, okay, so it's just 6. I'm glad I read that card. That would have been, like, a super flub when I went back and watched that later and was like, "Dadoy." This is really good. Let's start with 0 to 60. We get a resource, so we're going to have 4 action points. This is loaded one time, and then we can come in with the pistol 4 times. We'll do this to make our opponent wonder. Actually, we can activate Maxx here, which is pretty good. That feels pretty solid. So 3 go again. We'll activate Maxie Boy. We will not crank. We'll activate Heart. Did we just... Okay, we got rid of 1 Hyperdriver. And so now we get to come in with a pistol 3 times. So 4, 7, 10, 16-point turn, and we get to set up a Hyperdriver here off of a 4-card hand because I'm not going to count the card that we're arsenaling. Like, I just don't think counting the card that we're arsenaling as, like, part of our damage hand is, like, where we want to be. Well, there's our last high octane. So, like, what's the play here? I truly don't know. Like, truly have no idea what the play is here. So if we pitch maximum velocity and expedite to come in with crankshaft boosting, that's 5 go again. We'll have 2 resources floating, and then we can activate Maxx to go back to the same situation we're in. So we get to put on 5 points of pressure here, and then we get to just like keep our hyperdriver state where it is. We're forced to keep the high octane in our hand, which I'm really not a huge fan of holding cards because you get to see so many cards in Flesh and Blood, but like I don't know. Like, I could not boost. It's technically keeping a card in my deck. Nah, let's boost. Let's live on the edge. Like, our situation stays the same, and we have the potential of actually blocking with or actually hitting a hyperdriver off the top here. And if we hit a hyperdriver off the top, we put it under our Hyper X, which is kind of cool. Pitch one card to pistol, boost 0, make a new driver. So pitch maximum velocity to pistol, expedite. And then, so we'd have to pitch 2 cards to pistol here, wouldn't we? Because I'm just going to keep the high octane. Like, it's a little bit of a questionable decision, but like, I think keeping the high octane is correct. Even if we're only drawing 3 cards a turn, I'm looking to try and find another hyperdriver that I can put into play. I like your line more. Okay. So if I block with Combustible Courier and 2 pieces of equipment here, I can load the pistol and then just come in for 4. So no block, take face, high roll. I mean, yeah, take the Command and Conquer effect, huh? Something we could do. So I mean, I could boost here. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. Let's just load the pistol and then let's just shoot the harpoon here. Like, Tekla Vossen doesn't really put on a lot of pressure, so like when we're able to realize that, we're also giving ourselves the ability to just kind of like sit and like not really worry about too many things. So Combustible Courier, 1 resource floating into expedite. Like, and then we get to like make another, we get to use Max's ability to make another hyperdriver. So what does this do? It just hearts, but you just gain 2 resources. You don't have the downfall of banishing cards. Okay. And they equip a base. They're probably just going to come in with the Teklo lever here. They had 2 equipped, so they could come in for 2 with like a red card. So I don't know. Boosting with the Combustible Courier here might not like be the best play, but I do believe that it's correct to start trying to like generate cards in some way. Like, we have to boost, so we have to hit a like crankshaft if we want to be able to like keep one of our hyperdrivers in play. Or we're just going to have to draw one. That is all 3 firewalls. So there's that. I go back-to-back maximum velocity. See, like, that's not good. Back-to-back maximum velocity is not where we want to be. That is, like, just not very good. I guess we'll activate Maxi Boy here and pass. Just because it's making it possible to keep 2 and make 1 turn. Here is where I like Banksy more. Oh, because Banksy does present us with the ability to actually let us have a turn and keep our hyperdrivers. Yeah. No, like I can see that for sure. No, I'm not going to boost here. We had all red, so I'm just going to come in for 5. What does that say? Steel Street Enforcement. While this is defending, it gets plus X, where X is the number of Evos you have equipped. Oh, wow. So that card can potentially block 5? That's pretty cool, actually. Okay, so there's another Mechanoid. Yeah, I'm just gonna take 2. The Terminator tank does require to be blocked. So... Oh, I guess this has overpower now. And when it hits, we discard a card. I mean, that's fine. Like, I don't really... We'll just discard that. Like... We'll come in for 3. I'm not gonna boost. I'm just gonna take the 3, and if they let this hit, then we'll opt 1. We're not really like losing that many cards out of our deck. We're still like in a decent spot as far as like deck abilities going. It's honestly pretty surprising to me that we haven't seen a hyperdriver yet. Like, we haven't banished a hyperdriver. I don't think I've pitched one yet either. Like, so that's what we want. So we're just gonna leave that on top of our deck. We'll probably draw like 2 of them in this hand. Like, there'll probably be 2 hyperdrivers. No. All right. Well, we'll block 3 and play a hyperdriver here. I like that Teklo-Vossen also plays like some of the red boosting cards. Like, it's like still trying to play like cards that like make things happen. Teklo-Vossen feels like it's going to be a very expensive deck. Let's just block 3. Like, this is for 2 with go again. We'll go to 21. And then they're just going to pass. So they're now at the point in the game where like they're like starting to put a little bit of pressure on us. No, we are not going to crank, and we're just going to pass. All right. Okay, this is not good. I think Teklo is going to be fairly okay price since you only need 1 L. I mean, you only... Why do they concede? Why did my opponent concede? I don't know. I'm going to assume they had to go or something. I feel like I've played the Teklo like Maxx and the Teklo-Vossen matchup a few times, and I feel like we were going to win that game. Like, we were well on our way to win that game. So like, yeah, you only need 1 legendary, but like there's a lot of Majestics in the deck you're going to play. And like, I know that like M's, you know, like expensive. So like expensive M's, like let's take like Command and Conquer is a great example of an expensive M. Like, you know, those are like, you know, like 60, 70 bucks. Stream sniping and feared the mech. I mean, I guess they knew it was coming. Like, I guess they did know it was coming. So like, if you have like, you know, like if some of these Majestics become, you know, $10, $15, you know, and you're needing 3 copies of each Majestic, you know, then, you know, your Teklo-Vossen deck, you know, is looking at, you know, I mean, if you got 5 Majestics that are all, you know, $10 a piece, that's $30. I mean, that's $300 right there, you know, just in M's, not counting the legendaries or anything. Oh, this should be a fun matchup. I haven't played against this yet. But if they are around to $5-10, it's still not too bad in my opinion. No, absolutely. I mean, and it's all about like, you know, like it's all about like what are you willing to spend? You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna buy a case of this set just because I really like this set and I like the way it looks. I didn't buy a case of the last set because Dusk Till Dawn looked pretty mad in my opinion. But I'm gonna buy a case of this one. So like, it is all about like what you're willing to spend at the end of the day. I agree. So we can try to get them with T-Bones, but we're not on Shockwaves or anything. We could try to go down to 60 cards here and cut T-Bones, I guess. Like, T-Bone can randomly get them, but they're also playing, like, other equipment that blocks. So I'm not a huge fan of T-Bone here. Trim drivers? We could trim drivers. I could just cut blue hyperdrivers here. You know what? We're actually just gonna live on the edge. We're just gonna cut blue hyperdrivers and play 15 blues. Like, and just see what happens. We are unable to crank. But we can put a hyperdriver into play. Like there was no way for us to set up another one. I mean, I guess we could have in some fashion, but I'm hoping that we can, like, no blocking the ninjas. Oh my god. You're a madman, dude. You're an absolute madman. This screams Razor Reflex. Like, absolutely screams Razor Reflex, but I don't really know how else we're playing around it. If I'm just being honest. $120 for all the armor, not awful, and I'm guessing the L will be around the Levia price, so like 100. 220 for a good deck might not be bad, ignoring the bulk and old Majestics. Yeah, so I mean 220 for like if Tekla-Vosson's a good deck is like a really solid price. Like 100% like a good price there. So if I block with Combustible Courier and Galvanic Bender, I get to go pitch Crankshaft to play Zipper Hit. Get a resource. Go down to 2 counters. Activate Maxx. Leave it alone. Yeah, this is not Razor. Interesting. I guess I just had no other way to have go again. Is all I can come up with there? Oh, I got a hyperdriver. Okay. So putting a hyperdriver there is pretty good. So they want to use their Breeze Rider boots. That's what that tells me. No, we're not going to crank because now it means that with our setup, we can actually... Oh, wow, this is pretty good because we can just block 6 here now, and then we can put the hyperdriver into play. Yeah. We can actually put hyperdriver into play, crank it, and then attack with the pistol if we want to, which is not bad. And we got to use our equipment before next, like, by the end of next turn. By the end of their next turn, so we might as well block efficiently here. Again, this screams Razor. I mean, let's just play around it, I guess. Like, if they do have the Razor, let's just stare them down. They can't snap it, so, like... Yeah, let's get in for 2. Like, play around Ancestral. So it's more than likely Ancestral is what they're trying to get me with on these last 2 turns. More than likely that's it. And based off the way the game has gone so far, I would almost like 100% say that that's it. But I mean, I guess you never know. So I want to hang on to this if I can and arsenal it. I want to arsenal the 0 to 60. So if I block Expedite and Teklo Foundry Heart here, they can't Razor this, and I'm playing around. Oh, I needed my blue. Well, that was dumb. Okay, that was really dumb. I needed my blue. I just like had a stroke and forgot that I needed to play the card in my arsenal. So now I'm a turn behind where I wanted to be. Oh god, they just had the full combo line here. Jesus. Wow. They just had the full combo line there. So, I mean... Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, my last card doesn't block, so we're just forced to take 3 and give them mask here. Yeah, dude, absolutely punished for my decision here. Jesus. Oh my god. So it appears that we were going to have to block no matter what. Like, looks like it did not matter what I did here. We were going to have to block. I'm curious to see what their turn... what this turn looks like for them. That was a lot of damage. Now we're going to have to try and hang on. Why did... oh, I guess I didn't click the attack. Sorry, opponent. I want to attack with my pistol. So we'll put our opponent to 32 here. Kind of fighting an uphill battle. What is happening? Where's the no problem? Down there at the bottom. Our opponent realized they want to block. They want to block. That's fine. Okay, so I need to keep 2 cards here. So we'll block with Crankshaft. It's like almost always correct to block. I mean, I'm gonna like take 5, and if they have a card to discard here to go get the 0 for 4, then like I'm gonna block 4, and then they're gonna pop their breaking scalers and draw a card, and I'm gonna cry. Thank God they couldn't do anything there. Okay, well, it's probably a little too late, but let's put it into play anyway. The game is probably just going to be blocking the rest of the game and then just like trying to like get there at the very end of the game. I gotta go. Good luck with your matches. Thanks, man. I appreciate you hanging out tonight, Raikou. Hope you have a good night, buddy. Or a good day, wherever you're at. Let's see what they wanted to talk about. I mean, we did summon Exodia, but I'm going to be honest. I think it's just a little too late, a little too long, and now I can't wait. Because you know all the right things to say. You know, it's just a little too late. Big JoJo fan, for you guys that didn't know. Really, really like, I just like that like poppy style music. Like, I'm just a big fan of that stuff in general. So this is for 3. So let's just give a maximum velocity here. All right, cry to sleep. Really cry to sleep. So now they get to go get a bonds and like have some like dumb turns. They didn't even need to go get it. We're just going to block this efficiently. I couldn't name a single other JoJo song, but that is a good one. She only has like 2 that I'm really aware of, if I'm being honest. But I was like, I really like that song. We'll just block 6 here. And then the Flusterfist will just be met with a 3 block. And we'll go to 4. We will come in for 6 yet again. We'll get rid of another hyperdriver here. We have 7 more pieces to get rid of. So we're really just trying to hang on, like, and just trying to like use our piece to put them on the back foot. Here's a firewall. Let's block 6. I'm okay with arsenaling this card here. Okay. So we're just going to block 4 here with our 4 block. Block 12, hit for 6, still decent value. Till we get a hyperdrive in hand. I mean, yeah, until we draw a hyperdrive. And then we can no longer, if we get a hyperdrive, we're no longer able to actually pitch to the pistol anymore. So we'll block 4. Like, we're probably just going to get Kadachi locked at a certain point. We needed to draw, like... we need to have like a really good turn where we can like kind of pop off, but our opponent's like done a pretty good job at keeping us off of doing that so far. Like, our opponent's like played pretty well. Let's just block 6 here. We'll block with 2 cards. We'll block 3. The only other Ancestral Empowerment in their deck is one that they pitched. So we'll just block here, like keep the value, and we'll keep a block left on our Nitro Mechanoid that we need, because we need to keep that block for later. Like, if we're actually going to have a chance to like try and get out of this. This is the last Kadachi we can take, and this is ultimately going to be our problem. So our Mechanoid blocks for 3. Man, we're like just hanging on here. I really hate to use a firewall on a on a Kadachi, but I think we have to. Oh man. Yeah, I guess we'll get rid of the pistol. It doesn't matter as long as we keep the bender. Keeping the bender is what really is like relevant here. So block the Kadachi. This is our last Mechanoid block that we have. So no. GG's opponent. So my average AVPT was 16.75, which is cool. But we fell short there. So okay, so that was my last game tonight. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Had a lot of people in the chat. Some I haven't seen in a while, and some I've never seen before. So thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to go back to the drawing board with the Maxx deck just a little bit here. If we're playing the pistol, I might be able to play some of the pistol items in the matchup or in the sideboard for like a Bravo matchup. I also think that I need to cut blue hyperdrivers. Like, there were so many hands tonight where we had multiple hyperdrivers. And like, I know some of that's RNG and some of that's like, you know, bad luck and some stuff like that. But it happened enough times to where I think it's a concern. Like, we played 11 games tonight and we went 4-7. It's like one of the worst records I've had on stream in a long time. So looking to really like just improve the deck as a whole. Like, if we add pistol items to the sideboard for Bravo, we can probably help ourselves out some. And then if we add a blue 3 block and cut blue hyperdrivers, I think we're in a better spot, because blue hyperdriver doesn't even give us the ability to like crank and like get another one out. So it's probably just super medium. Like, and when I say super medium, I mean just like not good at all. So I'll probably look at changing that, honestly, over like the next couple of days or something like that, to like see what I can figure out. I will not be back this weekend. Curly and I are going out of town to Charlotte this weekend. We're going to hang out. We're going to celebrate one of our friends' birthdays this weekend. So we're super excited to go hang out with our friends and see some family. So it'll be a good time. I will be back on Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know what's going on next week yet. I'm more than likely to be back on Tuesday. I'll be trying out some new builds and some other stuff like that. I'm probably going to make a poll to see what you guys want to play, because I played the 2 decks that I really wanted to play and that I really wanted to test in the new format. So I'm probably going to make like a community poll over the weekend to see what you guys want me to play on Tuesday. So I can kind of like, I think I'm going to look at like a dash. I'm probably going to look at the Plasma Machine Dash deck, and then I'm probably going to look at continuing with Maxx, and then I might keep looking at that Barrel Shot Boost Dash deck that I was trying. So we'll probably look at something like that. So anyway, thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend, guys.